So you are shifting the problem, and then the root cause is again, right? Someone is considering I am AI ready, but he or she is just aware. You are not teaching them what is right, and that is the biggest gap that is happening in the industry. The era of, say, education to employment is over.
How you define AI aware, AI ready?
Probably I will rephrase it. I will put this as Gen AI ready and Gen AI aware. So probably how I see being like things which are aware is like, folks who have like been exposed to tools like Chatgpt, Gemini, Grok, and others. They did some things like here and there. Maybe okay, give me summary of my reports of final year, or give me my text summary, or arrange my documents in a given folder. So they have been exposed to AI, but are they using it to an extent where they can impact their job roles or what outcomes they desire? Is not there, then they come into AI, like say, aware category. Now, if I put through like what AI ready looks like for an individual, so a person with the help of AI can use it as a companion who can reason, question, approve, and disapprove together, ensure that it weigh in what is being coming out from that LLM interaction. And this is equally important because there is no replacement to human judgment. At any point of time, if humans are not at the, I say, driving seat, AI may not be that helpful. It may create illusions, and in AI terms they call it hallucinations. But it's more like harming than doing the good thing. And that's how I put through it. I take a specific example. Like I was doing a project with my kid, and he was in need of like generating an image where an elephant calf has been trapped into, I say, a pit. And then we gave a simple prompt in Germany. Okay, generate a image of an elephant in a pit. So it has generated a image where elephant is just in like 4 inches pit, because it has interpreted that's what you wanted. But the actual context was missing, where we said like, okay, elephant calf being trapped into a pit. Now, as soon as you start like putting these perspective and ensuring that things are not explained right, you fall into that AI aware category. And had it been like the evolved phase, we could have trained or like modeled it in such a way that we speak with clarity, do onion peeling, create kind of I say thinking in flowcharts, and eventually get the design out, which is a bit long way to go when you solve it.
Why is it a problem if someone considers themselves as AI ready instead of AI up?
Right. So it falls into that general myth, and anyone and everyone feels that okay, why I need a guided learning, and that policy comes from the fact that okay, I know all, right? I know to an extent where I can guide a system to get my desired outcome. But then there lies a bigger problem where people consider that they are AI ready but not aware. And again, like I took an example. I give one more specific example, right? Around like how AI aware is like considered as a AI ready. And let's say if there is an engineer who is utilizing these LLMs to generate code for a given use case. Now, if this person is taking a requirement from a product manager and passing it to AI verbatim. What I mean, like you just understand and like take it from some tools like Jira and then put it into LLM and generate a code for me. It will certainly do, right? What is the design ask from it. But then the outcome of or the validation of those outcomes belong to that individual. And I face this difficulty in my teams, and many others are also facing that this code is getting generated but not validated, neither in human terms nor in AI terms. And until unless you don't weigh in what is right for a given context, you will always fall into that trap that AI is giving you speed, but it is just shifting the problem. So you see that a lot of code has been written and generated, but when it comes to real shipping, then the bugs will go. Or when we go into the cycle of user validation, or let's say if you have teams for QA, at that point of time your problem go say hyperscale. So the time you were taking let's say X at that point of time earlier to work on the bugs, now it is 10x. So you are shifting the problem, and the root cause is again right. Someone is considering I am AI ready, but he or she is just aware, and that is like most of the organizations are facing. Be it any role. I took an example of engineering, but I mean equally important for sales, marketing, or any other non-tech role, be it manufacturing or wherever the adoption of generative AI is possible.
How AI Prepper is solving this and why it matters to use platform like this.
Okay, probably we are bringing this term AI Prepper for the first time, so I will define that. Okay. So AI Prepper is an offering from Technomul into the generative AI space for like those who are like, but it ranges a lot, right? I mean, for those who are early in career to mid career, or those who want to learn AI out of their curiosity because they need to manage folks who want to use AI. So it helps individuals to take their journey from being AI aware to AI ready, if I just name it that way. But at the same time, how it will be helpful for the individuals, it will give you a guided learning path. And let me put through like a perspective that why it is needed, right? So if you leave fundamentals and then directly start on the next level, you are certainly going to miss, right? I mean, I correlate this to the vocabulary, right? You start with alphabets, join and create the words, and then eventually sentences, and in between you learn grammar. Now, what if we directly go and skip the steps and directly start writing essays? We are saying that okay, I know or I have seen this letter somewhere. So perhaps like you may or someone may write something which is not from his or her perspective, it is like good, but at the same time it is not that good. And why I'm saying that, why it is not that good? Because when it comes to the rules of that language, it is falling apart, or the way or the kind of depth that you are looking for is falling apart. And that's what ThinkHumble is trying with the help of AI Prepper to bridge that gap, where we want to ensure that a person runs the foundation, go to a level where he or she can guide AI to get the desired output, and then to the topmost level, it can discuss, debate, evaluate, resolve, reason, and eventually question LLM that okay, you are not always there, or like you need still the human touch to take to a journey where organizations are looking for some kind of amalgam between human and artificial intelligence. So probably that's where like this journey of AI Prepper is going to, and yeah, we are starting on a very big note, introducing a lot of new features and capabilities, like bite-sized learning, assessments, most important aspects. So many, let's say platforms, I don't want to name them, but there are many platforms give them the learning, but not having the opportunity to validate that this solution is actually generative ready. So probably our platform helps them ensuring that things are working, and we are measuring it tangibly. So probably that way I can call it like what AI Prepper is trying to solve.
How to use platforms like AI Prepper? Give an example of any one role.
Okay. Maybe take an example again. Marketer, or like he or she starting his or her journey, as a marketeer or content creator, and he or she has been exposed to a couple of tools, let's say Google BO, Plot, Chatgpt, maybe a modern version of Figma, or a modern version of some other tools like Flowchart and others. And now they have been asked to create or fuse their magic utilizing all these tools and create something awesome, right? Which resonates with human and all that, right? Now, if you give them these capabilities out of the box without giving them direction how to use them, the major problem that will come is learnability around tool. So every tool which you introduce, which is like either LLM induced or LLM themselves or AI powered, they have their own learning or they have their own learning path. Now, they will hit and try and eventually learn, but you are not teaching them what is right. And that is the biggest gap that is happening in the industry. So the creators of these awesome tools assume that people are able to figure out their ways. And I think that is the biggest myth which we are trying to solve. And ensuring that we do it in a way where individual go from foundation to intermediate to advanced. Because without that, he or she will struggle for life. Right? They may be able to get their work done for first 6 months. Right? But then when it will come to the fundamentals and reviews, and eventually when the industry will mature, they will feel that they are left behind. So, I am a strong, believer of the fact that if you lack in your fundamentals in any area of work, especially around the new ecosystem, it will be very difficult for you to sustain in long term. Right? Let me give you more specific perspective on this thing. So, and I will be a bit more upfront or blunt on this perspective. The era of, say, education to employment is over. So, someone come over and then say, I am a grad in any discipline, and then I am employable because I am a grad there. Maybe that time is gone. Now, what does an individual should do, right, to keep himself or herself employable? And that's where the skills matter. Right? But more than skills, learning the skills right is even more important, because there is no one to put some kind of guardrails around you or guide you where you are falling apart. And if these things are not coming together, probably it will be very difficult for an individual to sustain or survive in long term. And that's what our platform is coming in, and or many other platforms are coming in and trying to work towards it and ensure that things are being done right for them.
You see, prompting techniques will be important to drive human intelligence.
Okay, that's a very good question. I will repeat. Why it matters to have an effective prompting techniques. And now, those who are new to this era, maybe perhaps most of us know what this prompt now looks like. But let's say, and I take a specific example, I say that, okay, probably get me an image of a dinosaur, right? Now, if I put this prompt in LLM, it will give you a dinosaur. Maybe there is no dinosaur of that type, because you have not given a specification to AI that which dinosaur. Okay. Do you want me to imagine the dinosaur, or do you want me to give what was existing, or at least what I was aware of? Do you want me to be a dinosaur which is of very big in size, or tiny ones? Have you given me the date era in which they should be existing or like when they went extinct. Have you given me that the geography where they were living? Um, some LLMs have started like uh, throwing these questions upfront, but they are also limited in their capabilities because they cannot make out every other question. And that's where I feel that if you learn uh, these techniques of onion peeling and thinking in flowchart, and again I reiterate my thought is like this is equally or even more important for non-tech folks because they have never learned that technique of thinking in steps. Right? And I give like an example to folks right? That if you want to go from Pune to Mumbai or any other place, you need to give me the steps what you will say, right? And then like maybe the first one or two steps they will say, okay, I will go and board the bus or train. But there are like a sequence of steps that you do even before that, right? Maybe if you're in office, you will take a lift. If you deboard the lift, you walk, and then once you walk, you take an auto or a bus or a cab, and then from there you go purchase the ticket, and then on board the train or bus, and then eventually deboard there, right? And all these contexts are missing, and as long as these contexts are missing, your output will be spurious. And the biggest problem is like we assume that AI is so good that it will always give the right answers, and that is a trap. It will be as good as like the kind of information that you can extract, and most importantly, always assume that AI is not like almighty. It will never be. It was created by humans. Humans have flaws, and like it will also carry those flaws. So your prompting techniques will be, I call it a breadwinner for most of us who are going to work alongside you. And then that's how things will evolve.